here, but it's not so important, but I still wanted to tell you about sense perceptions. So the Leora would know, and also Geshima knows. We had dinner in the museum theatre kind of complex there, and there was a big banner hanging about the play that was being played. So I saw a Buddha image. It's really good if you go there, but if I tell you already now, well, then you probably will see the right thing. So I saw in this banner the image of a Buddha, like in the middle. It's big, yeah? It was as big as a tonka, for example, and the banner like that. And I said, what is the play? There's a Buddha sitting there. Do you know what is being played? I don't know. It's cabaret. And I swear I did not see the lower legs of that. But we know the classical picture of cabaret, Liza Minnelli sitting on that chair, the wrong way round, with her legs like this. And I only saw the knees. And if you only see the knees, it's like a Buddha sitting in meditation. And I swear, I don't say that ever. Or maybe, like really. I really did not see those lower legs nor the chair. The hat looked a little bit like the Ushnisha. The arms like this, I saw like that. And for me, this was a Buddha. The moment Leora or you, I can't know, Leora or Wani said cabaret, I saw the legs. This is such a good example. So this is how you can take it into your daily life. When you see these visual deceptions that your mind labels Buddha, and it becomes a Buddha. It's not always so obvious. Yeah, but sometimes it is really obvious. And then, of course, as a Buddhist, you understand something on a deeper level, and you go, wow, this is so true what the Buddha says. And then again your faith increases, and then you can continue. Okay, so I don't have much time, so I don't want to say anything more than that. And we'll go into the meditation. We'll try to take this form is emptiness, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. I don't understand it. I have notes somewhere on this, a beautiful meditation that I led with the instructions of Yangtze Rinpoche. The notes are in Tel Aviv. My memory is very bad, so I'll just try, and I think I led it once or twice, that was it, but it's really good. It's a good meditation you can do, and that maybe you should do if you know it. How to, how do you do the meditation on that? I'll try, okay? If I say anything wrong, it's totally my doing, because I'm not claiming that I understand this. And this is also so important when it comes to emptiness. Don't say you understand. It's like, it's good to just remain open, say, maybe I understand it now in another way. And then you leave the door open that it could be understood on a deeper level, because this goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So for me, that meditation kind of helped a little bit, but I don't know if I remember properly. Yeah, I used to. This is another thing, with age. These firings in the brain, well, they don't fire so quickly anymore, and sometimes they fire the wrong way around. So it's a very good thing. These connections that we have in the brain, what science says, use it or lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. But then it comes back very quickly. Habits, like this. Okay, so just sit in a comfortable way, relaxed, easy. Again, just be aware, this is profound, this is difficult to understand. And the more you can say, I don't understand yet, the more you remain open. If you make opinions and views now, this is the way it is, you're stuck. I know you want to understand, but it cannot be understood just like this. We used to think of Kabbalah. You think if I go to a Kabbalah weekend on one weekend, I would understand the meaning of Kabbalah? Yeah, everybody smiles, okay? Because it's impossible. If I come but tell me, I want to understand. What would you tell me? What would you say? You would sit down with me and they explain? You would say, look, you have that very full weekend. Just relax and be happy that whatever you heard, and you put it aside. You let it ripen. So, it's the same thing. And another thing that I wanted to really stress, because emptiness and creator God, when you say there's no creation in Buddhism, there is creation, of course, but not something out of nothing. This constant creation is our mind. Karma is the creator. There's no separate creator God. That's what Buddhism says. You don't have to accept this. If you can work much better with the creator God to be a good person, to have a happy life, to understand or to have tools and means to work with difficult situations. Of course, if you have a life that is fairly easy, you don't need emptiness and you don't need karma and you don't need a creator God. What for? If everything goes the way you want it to go. No need for all this. But you need to have tools to be able to work with difficult situations that makes you more relaxed and understanding and accepting. So for some people it's a creator God that gives tests to you. You know, like one teaching was so funny. We talked about patience and how quickly we lose our patience. And then it was in Bulgaria Institute, so they have little tables with their notes on it. And then in the middle of the course, the cleaning lady comes and puts all the tables to the side and puts them all back wrong, right? Where's my notes? Where are my notes? All this, yeah? So some people, again, completely lost it because maybe they had written private things in it. They didn't want anybody else to see. Some other people were completely calm. And so I said, why were you so calm? Two of them were totally calm. They said, both of them said, because we have talked about patience yesterday, we thought it was a test. That you were testing us whether we had patience or not. Then you're totally patient because you think it's a test. The others, that it was real. Who took my notes? Right? So this is it. So this creator God who is giving us tests gives you the courage to, he has love, this creator God, doesn't he? I hope so. Yeah? Yeah. He has love. Why would he give you a test that you will break on that test? Why? Yeah, exactly. That's why he gives you this test. He wouldn't give you a test that is too big for you. It might be big. It might be very big. But it would not break you if you trust that creator God. Now, I don't have my parents, I'm not religious. Switzerland, you know, money, that's our religion. I wasn't interested in that because the family already had when I was born, so I was very spoiled. I had many material things. You know, I was one of the richest kids in class also, always had the newest skis and ski boots and all. This is how my classmates remember me, the first one with buckles on the boots. So like that. So I wasn't interested in that. And also I could never work with this concept of creator God. But I can see other people who work with this in a very beautiful way. And they become more patient, more loving, you know, like they have very difficult lives. But because they believe in this, he will not give me a test that I will not grow on this. Whatever I'm given, it cannot be too big. They don't break. And they increase courage, patience, loving, acceptance, and all that. Become very strong and very inspiring Christians. I'm sure you have these people in your tradition as well. I'm sure. Many. Go and find those people. Don't go with the people who don't live what they preach. And then you get angry at them. You know? Don't throw the whole of your religion out. Then, when I heard about this is my responsibility, this is karma, I started to understand that there is no injustice in the world, like on a bigger picture. But whatever we should do, if we can do to stop injustice, you should do. But getting angry at the aggressors, that is not going to help, really. And reacting with anger also won't help. Reacting, yes, but with compassion and with wisdom. Trying to include everybody, not just the aggressors, and then here you have the victims. Then the aggressors become the victims, and then they get angry, and then, then you become the aggressor for them. And it's like, okay. So this is just what I wanted to say. And emptiness is not a nothingness where you just sit and you're sad and nothing happens anymore. You know, a fog. No more senses, no more this, no more that. No. That's why these two truths go together. You cannot separate them. So sometimes when we hear about emptiness, we think, oh, I want to leave behind conventional truth, and I just want to go into ultimate truth, and that's it. You cannot separate them. And this is, I think, what these forms emptiness is from what it says. So we'll try, Okay. Close your eyes, relax. Don't worry, be happy. If I would start singing the song now, you would smile. Just remember, everybody knows that song, yeah? Just remember the few notes of that song. Yeah. Why worry? If you think you don't understand now, that's ignorance. What's the antidote to ignorance? Is wisdom. So we have to study more. We have to listen more. We have to learn more. It's as simple as that. And ignorance can be overcome very quickly. If you are ignorant of my name, you only have to ask. And then that kind of ignorance is gone. The ignorance of seeing inherent existence, unfortunately, is much deeper than that. Because we believe in the projection of inherent existence. Because we believe in a permanent, unchanging, independent me or I or self. Try to close your eyes and really go inside. Again, do we believe in that me or I? Does it feel different from yesterday, or does it feel the same? The feeling of me and I who possesses the body and the mind. Separate, permanent, unchanging. So ideally one would do this form is emptiness, emptiness is form, and so on with the 5 aggregates, because that is what this I possesses. That's what we think that this I possesses, or that we identify with, instinctively without analyzing. But then if you go to form, feeling, discrimination, form, feelings, discrimination, composition of factors, and consciousness, you see that none of this is the I, but we're not going to do it like this. We take each aggregate, one takes separate, but maybe we just do the body, not to confuse you too much, maybe the feelings also. Let's see. Form is emptiness. Actually in the newer translations it says form is empty. So the body, get a feeling of your body. How do you perceive it? How does it appear? And how does it exist? If you don't analyze a body feeling, how does it appear? Does it appear as merely labeled, dependent on its parts? Or does it appear as a big lump of flesh? The body. Does it appear as being the result of sperm and egg? Or does it appear not changing in time? Like the body that you have this moment, is it changing or not? Permanent. The illusion of having the same body all the time, because even when you look at photographs of you as a child in a group of other children, you would point and say, this is me. How can that be you? You look totally different. Why can you look different? Because the body is not permanent, not unchanging, not independent from its parts. But how does it appear? Maybe to go backwards, think of the body you had as a child. Even though intellectually we know that the body was different, if you think of your hand, is that the same hand or is it a different hand? Again, instinctively, not intellectually. The feeling of your hand, is that hand different or is it the same? So we start to compare appearance and existence. Does it exist the way that it appears? It appears to be the same hand, but it's not. It's empty of being the same hand. If it would be inherently existing, this body could not change. You couldn't have a body, because the substance of the body has changed drastically from sperm and egg to how you look now. We can't even imagine, it's so far away. My body, what, at one point? Sperm and egg? Body is empty of this kind of lump of flesh. It's just parts. If you look for the body in the parts, all you find is not body. You find nose, eyes, ears, skin, bones, hair, blood, organs, mucus, saliva. That's an interesting question. Is your saliva your body? Or is it separate from the body? You can spit it out. Is it body or is it not body? The body liquids. If it would be inherently body, you could not spit it out, that's for sure. So none of these parts can be called body. If you show somebody your hand and you say, this is my body, they would laugh at you. Body is empty. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It can exist because it's empty, so emptiness is body. Because all that exists is an empty body. An inherently existing body has never existed and will never exist. So the basis of imputation is a non-inherently existing body, because nothing else exists. That's why emptiness is also body. Without emptiness, you cannot have a form. Without emptiness, you cannot have form or body or anything else. Just play with that in your mind. Body is empty. Emptiness is body. Or if you prefer the form, that's fine, but it really talks about our body. The appearance of a solid lump of body non-changing. The lack of that kind of existence, of unchanging, independent, inherent, being able to stand on its own, but existing, because thanks to emptiness. If there wouldn't be emptiness, you could not have a body. Emptiness is form. There is no other than empty form. Emptiness is not other than form. You cannot separate the two. If the body is not empty, you cannot have body. If there is no body, you cannot have emptiness of body. So I guess that is preventing this danger, that we see the two as separate. What helped me is like impermanence. Like the impermanence of the body also. If there's no impermanence, the body cannot be. But when the body disappears, also the impermanence disappears. Emptiness is not other than form. There is no emptiness without the form. Form is not other than emptiness. So that prevents the danger to think that conventional truth is ultimate truth and ultimate truth is conventional truth. And again, what might help there is you take you as a person. You can have different labels. Like for example, your parent would call you a child. Your children call you a parent. Your classmates or your friends call you by your name. Somebody else can call you my husband or wife. They're all different, but they're all one entity or one nature. It's all you, but it's not the same. Form, too, is not other than emptiness. By name, they're different. You cannot be for your parent a child and a father. At the same time, you can be a child and a father. Or I can be Rita, I can be a Buddhist nun, I can be a female, I can be Swiss. None of this is the same thing as the other. Yet, I'm all of them. Form, too, is not other than emptiness. Okay, now you know the technique. Just let's briefly look at feelings, because feelings rule our world. That's why in the 5 aggregates, feelings and discriminations are singled out from the compositional factors, the rest of the mind states. Because we have discrimination, we discriminate between good and bad. And for us, a pleasant feeling is good, an unpleasant feeling is bad. Pleasant and unpleasant. Does it seem to be empty, meaning changing, depending on causes and conditions? Or does it seem to be existing from its own side, popping out of the void? Especially if you have pain in your body now. Unpleasant feeling. Does it appear to be empty? Not non-existent. It's there, don't go too far. Emptiness doesn't mean non-existent. But does it appear to be permanent? Or does it appear to be impermanent? When you move, it's gone. feeling is empty. If the feeling would be inherently existent, it would always be there. Does it appear like that? It appears as real, inherent, lasting, permanent, doesn't it? So feeling is empty. Emptiness is feeling. Without emptiness, you could not feel. You don't have pleasant and unpleasant feelings. It's okay. Emptiness is not other than feeling, because all you perceive is a feeling that is empty or of inherent existence. There is no other feeling that exists. You just, or the ignorance just perceives it as real, unchanging. Feeling too is not other than emptiness. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form too is not other than emptiness. Don't try to grasp at the words. Just allow them to be put into your mind. Do not underestimate the power of the words of the Buddha by just hearing or reciting them. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, and form too is not other than emptiness. Likewise, our feelings, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness, which make up a person, meaning me, or I. Don't torture yourself trying to understand. Just do this again and again and again and again until you allow the words to help you. The words of the Buddha. We always want to come up with our own words. Yesterday we had a little bit this conversation whether we should do prayers with you or not. Stop calling them prayers. They're not prayers. The prayer is you pray for something, you want something. And you say, I go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha until I'm enlightened in order to benefit all sentient beings. Is that a prayer? That's an aspiration. It puts the mind in a certain direction. At the end, when we dedicate, and we'll do this extensive dedication in the last class, after the last class, you dedicate. You again reaffirm to yourself why you want to do this. It just makes the mind very clear. So let go of this kind of prayer is for religious people and I'm not religious. It's help, it's tools. It's nothing than that. And we have it already there. It's been existing since 2,000 years. Or since the Tibetans, because we do the Tibetan prayers. Why do we need to change it? You know, I mean, again, it's so relaxing when you can just follow what is being said. But because I think maybe some people feel that they have been misled by religious people, and then you have this distrust. Anything that smells a little bit like prayer. Oh no, Not for me, I want to be independent. I want to do this alone. The power of rituals and of prayer, and people do this together with a good intention. Maybe there are people who do prayers with negative intentions, but you don't have to become one of those. Now when you see them, you already know how not to use it. So then use it properly, you know. And really look, where is this resistance coming from? It's such a big help, you know. I take refuge. It means I trust. I trust the teachings of this person that we call Shakyamuni Buddha. Of course he says check. But, you know, sometimes people say, yeah, but the Buddha said I shouldn't believe anything. That's not what the Buddha said. He said check it out. You know, not believing is not checking. Not believing is just as stupid as blind belief. It's also a belief. Blind belief is also a belief. I'm sorry, I really have to say that sometimes. If you say, no, I don't believe in all this, that's a belief. And it's funny how we're absolutely not afraid to not believe something that could exist, but we're totally afraid to believe something that might not exist. You see what I mean? Our society, like Western society, you know, we're not afraid of believing in future lives because they could not exist. That's for us an educated view, not believing something that we don't see. We call ourselves educated, you know, and not superstitious. But we're very afraid of believing in something that we can't see, that could exist. How do we know? As Geshe-ma says, 50% chance that past and future lives exist. But you don't have to say these prayers, because they're not prayers, they're just aspirations. Okay, and they are a great, especially the Heart Sutra. This is why in the Tibetan tradition, you know, before every teaching, the Heart Sutra is read. And it's a great antidote to fear, by the way. If you have anxiety and fear and all this, read the Heart Sutra as much as possible. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Form is not other than emptiness, emptiness is not other than form. I think I have it like this, I have it in my mind actually. Maybe it is the other way around. Emptiness is not other than, yes, emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. I have it the other way around in my mind, but I might have it wrong. Okay, so now is the Dharma talk or the manager talk. And we'll see you, we'll see you again. What time does it continue? Huh? 1:45. It's 12:15 now. Do you think it's enough time?
Yes.
Because I remember last weekend it was really rushed, the lunch break. Yeah, I know. So, but we can change. You know, also that schedule doesn't inherently exist. It can be changed. I think last time, because of Dana and books and eating and me burning the things and all this, I think people would have been really happy to have 15 minutes more. Do you think if we can continue at 2 and then we go on until 3:30 instead of 3:15?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful, quite honestly. Yeah, okay. So we meet again for the next session at 2 o'clock. Great, thank you. And now you can talk.
Is it finished?
Now is the manager talk. Somebody says about Dana and all these things. Then is lunch, but lunch you can talk. Maybe for the moment stay in silence. Then is another lesson. We have another session at 2 o'clock until 3:30. You have still 1.5 hours to realize emptiness. At least conventionally, not directly.
Can't we just do intermission?
Yeah, of course. This is, you know, whenever you feel like, your mind being stuck on something, you go, microphone is empty. Emptiness is microphone. Microphone is not other than emptiness. Emptiness is not other than microphone. At least you start smiling. And when a smile is on your face, you're less, The skills of the Buddha to give us tools to work with this, even on a conventional level.